Life science. It's at the core of our future. To thrive, life science companies need the right elements. The first is human resources. To attract the best and brightest talent from all around the world, they need the right research environment. Illinois Science and Technology Park meets these needs with a state-of-the-art corporate research campus like no other. A true catalyst that has transformed Illinois from a scientific research hub into an economic engine for life science. Designed to generate successful collaboration for life science companies at all stages of growth, ISTP features 600,000 square feet of the finest science laboratories, offices, and conference spaces. This environment, coupled with educational programs and partnerships with institutions, goes a long way to helping develop life science solutions ecosystem. In essence, ISTP is home to a powerful mix of pharma, biotech, nanotechnology, and healthcare, making for a highly educated workforce, many in Chicago's nearby Skokie, Illinois. A pro-development community surrounded by nature and parks, health services, retails, daycares, and schools. All the amenities for families to flourish. All of this within a short distance of bustling downtown Chicago. Home of many renowned universities, and you're linked to every major city in the world via O'Hare International Airport. On a smaller scale, the ISTP site is easily accessible, whether via public transportation, cycling paths, or car, with a future spacious parking deck. Also in the works, a brand new hotel, residential, and high-end luxury apartment projects. To benefit from this ecosystem, life science companies need to be in the heart of it. 8030 Lemont offers that opportunity. Newly refurbished, featuring transparency and natural light, pureness of design and spaces to stimulate inventiveness and collaboration. Areas that breathe and give talent all they need to bring life science to the next level. That's what 8030 Lemont is all about. Part of the ISTP community, 8030 Lemont is dedicated to create not just a workplace, but the best environment to inspire innovation and achievements. ISTP. We put the life in life science.
At Execure, we brought together some of the most brilliant minds in nanotechnology, in digital drug design, in genomic medicine, and we have created a path for drug development which ultimately is going to radically change the way we think about making and testing drugs to impact human health.
Spherical nucleic acid is a new form of DNA or RNA. It's made by taking nanoparticles and arranging short strands of oligonucleotides, DNA or RNA, on their surfaces into a globular form.
We're using what we call digital design to create new medicines with SNA technology, using computer algorithms to design drugs using your A's, G's, T's, and C's and rearrange them like Lego blocks to create new drugs. You can actually design a targeted medicine that will attack that disease that is genetic source.
The capabilities we have in DNA sequencing today are used for synthesizing the molecules that are incorporated into the Execure products.
We take a nanoparticle as a scaffold and we plug pieces of DNA around the outside. And that koosh-ball-like structure has really important properties, mainly that it gets into cells and tissues very effectively. That effective cell and tissue penetration is going to change the paradigm for nucleic acid medicines.
We've got tremendous knowledge right now about what's causing disease. But what the real deficit has been is new development in topically applied medications. Not medications that broadly hit things, for example, steroids for inflammatory disease, but medications that build on the recent research that's been done and are able to target more specifically.
Execure is the only company capable of topical gene regulation, and that opens up the ability to create therapeutics for a wide number of diseases.
We're going after targets in the eye, the lung, the skin, the GI tract, really anywhere where you can think about locally delivering nucleic acids, the Execure technology provides a key.
I'm working on treatments for ophthalmology.
I'm creating new medicines for skin disease.
I'm working on new therapies for cancer.
I think what we're going to see in the future as a consequence of some of the products that are being developed at Execure, some really transformative, less toxic drugs that are very directed and targeted to the underlying cause, and it's the power of this technology that really will transform the way people expect medical care to be delivered.
What we're really hoping to do is change the paradigm for how drugs are developed. At Execure, we're leveraging the knowledge of not only the Human Genome Project, but those that have been developing nucleic acid therapies now for over 20 years. That radically changes the timelines and the costs by which we can develop new drugs. Ultimately, what that means is that we can bring them to patients in need much, much faster and much more effectively.
Welcome, everybody, to the Illinois Science and Technology Park. We're immensely proud of this, and we have a very special guest today. He's not a stranger to Skokie. If there's anybody in the state of Illinois who understands the value of science and technology, it's our governor. Last year, he campaigned on a platform of investing and reinvesting in education, science, technology, and economic development.
You know, as we stand here in a science and technology park, I'm reminded that we often don't toot our own horns here in Illinois enough. And some of you may not, I like to think of all the superlatives that one can say about the state that people don't often know about our state. So I'm going to just repeat a couple of them and tell you we added one yesterday. But let me start with, we're the second largest producer, this state, of computer science degrees in the entire nation. That's a big deal, but you don't hear people talk about it enough. We're the fourth largest producer of business degrees in the entire nation in Illinois, and we're the fifth largest producer of data scientists in the nation. That sets us up for success going forward. And it's a big deal, and people should pay attention to it. But yesterday we had one more addition to that, and that was that 1871, the incubator, the technology incubator in Chicago, was named the #1 private business incubator in the entire world. Yeah, it's a big deal, right here in our state.
A healthy immune system targets pathogens while sparing the body's own tissues. In autoimmune disease, such as multiple sclerosis, the immune system misidentifies the body's own cells, causing a self-perpetuating cycle of immune cell recruitment and inflammation. Healthy tissues come under attack, causing disease. To date, clinicians have relied upon immune suppressant therapies that risk serious side effects. Core's breakthrough nanoparticle platform harnesses the immune system's own learning power to induce tolerance to specific problematic antigens, while preserving all immune functionality. Upon infusion, Core nanoparticles bind to immune cells called monocytes. The particle surface is functionalized to enhance uptake, ensuring optimal targeted delivery. These cells then travel to the spleen and liver. where they undergo apoptosis. There, the disease-specific antigens encapsulated within the particles are released. The resulting debris is consumed by antigen-presenting cells, which present the disease-specific antigens along with negative co-stimulating factors to the adaptive immune system. Adaptive immune T cells interact with antigen-presenting cells, and in the absence of inflammatory signals, they perceive the antigen as self. These T cells respond by undergoing deletion or anergy, or by inducing a T regulatory response. T regulatory cells then migrate to sites of disease, where they continually downregulate the immune response in the presence of the disease-specific antigen. By harnessing the immune system's built-in learning and regulatory pathways, core nanoparticle technology can reprogram the immune system, providing clinicians with a breakthrough approach to treating autoimmune disease.
For a global business, coming to the U.S. market isn't just a good idea, it's a must.
Makes no sense to go anywhere else. If you really want to grow your company, yeah, go to America.
There's an ecosystem here. It starts with there's the educational institutions that are among the top in the world.
A proven track record of innovation coupled with excellent protection of intellectual properties.
Also, the legal system in the U.S. is very, very stable, very, very well understood.
There's a capital market system that supports entrepreneurs and investments.
I've had an incredible experience with the workforce that I have employed here in America.
We got all kinds of faces. I mean, in our factory, it's 40 nationalities and 7 languages on our factory floor.
And this ecosystem grows and thrives and flourishes. And this has produced some pretty tremendous success stories.
The United States does offer a level playing field, doesn't matter where you come from.
As time goes on, success breeds more success.
It's quite a daunting task, taking your business overseas into a new market, into a country where I essentially didn't know a single person.
Part of that challenge of coming to the United States was to really understand how Toto, a Japanese company, was going to go beyond just a sort of an Asian-centric business model into a global business model.
Select USA is a point of contact.
The access that companies have at the summit to the highest level of the federal government, plus all of the state and local agencies. For us, it was an unparalleled opportunity to access all of the people in one place, and we need to make our transition to the U.S. easier.
That's the biggest mistake that I made, is I can do this myself.
There are folks you can come talk to that will give you a sense of confidence that by putting a footprint here on the ground, we'll find success.
In New Zealand, I have been in the rock climbing market for 20 years, and I got to 3 locations. Here in America, I was open for 1 year, and we were moving into the franchising model. That is really what America does, so quick.
As you think about the innovation that you have in your company, if you can bring that innovation and integrate it into the entrepreneurial spirit of the United States and grow your business, you have the opportunity to really gain some significant market share.
This is the land of opportunity and freedom.
Step into it, engage, you're going to find an opportunity to find success, because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
A healthy immune system easily distinguishes between pathogens and non-threatening entities like food or pollen. However, in allergy, the immune system is sensitized to an otherwise non-threatening entity like peanuts and mounts an abnormal immune reaction, which can become life-threatening anaphylaxis. To date, clinicians have relied upon immune-suppressing therapies or desensitizing strategies with limited results, which do little to limit the risk of the deadliest reactions. Coor's breakthrough nanoparticle platform harnesses the immune system's own learning power to induce tolerance to specific allergens like peanuts and reduce the risk of these deadly reactions. Coor nanoparticles bind to immune cells called monocytes. The particle surface is functionalized to enhance uptake, ensuring optimal targeted delivery. The cells and particles then travel to the spleen and liver, where they undergo apoptosis, releasing the allergens encapsulated within the particles. The resulting debris is picked up by antigen-presenting cells, which present the allergens along with negative co-stimulating factors to the adaptive immune system. adaptive immune T cells interact with the antigen-presenting cells. And in the absence of inflammatory signals, they reprogram the immune system to no longer identify the allergen as a threat. These T cells are reprogrammed through deletion or energy, or by inducing a T regulatory response. T regulatory cells are long-lived and continually downregulate immune reactions despite the presence of an allergen like peanuts. By harnessing the immune system's built-in learning and regulatory pathways, core nanoparticle technology can reprogram the immune system, providing clinicians with a breakthrough approach to treating allergy.
This day is a long time in coming. Our previous village manager, in the midst of the recession, came to the board with a bold idea: purchase the Desiree property, demolish it, and put it out to bid when the recession ends. And the village board did exactly that. This project has involved the entire community. At the beginning of it, we sent out 6,000 letters to the community, inviting them to a series of open houses at which the developer and the village displayed what our vision for this property was.
As I look out here today, I see the leaders of this community, as well as the active participants that are residents here that love this village. We put together a team of terrific people that have really worked together to make 8,000 North a reality.
Illinois Science and Technology Park is located in Skokie, Illinois, situated on an approximately 24-acre corporate campus with over 500,000 square feet of fully developed office, laboratory, and amenity space. The park represents one of the Chicago area's premier life science and technology campuses. The 3 existing stabilized lab and office buildings are currently leased to a roster of leading domestic and multinational life science, energy, and nanotech companies. Situated directly on Chicago's CTA New Light Rail Station, the park's location provides tenants with multiple routes to downtown, as well as convenient service to and from Chicago's O'Hare International and Midway airports, and is a short 10-minute drive to Northwestern University and its world-renowned science, medical, and business programs. The park offers best-in-class lab facilities and office space, together with the potential for ground-up, build-to-suit development at the site. It includes the largest assembly of for-lease wet lab space in the state of Illinois. Illinois Science and Technology Park is a high-profile, research-oriented campus, complete with a central quad and flexible buildings designed to accommodate demand from life science and technology users at various stages of the corporate life cycle, from startup to Fortune 500. 4901 Searle is a 224,000 square foot office building and former headquarters for G.D. Searle. The building was fully renovated in 2007 and leased to AA credit-rated North Shore University Health System through 2029. 8045 Lamont is a 159,000 square foot state-of-the-art 4-story lab facility that was considered for Lab Building of the Year by R&D Magazine in 2001. The LEED Gold building is 100% leased to a select group of international life science and technology companies, including Astellas Pharmaceuticals, Fresenius Kabi, Lonza-Tech, and Northwestern University. 8025 Lamont is a partially renovated 4-story lab totaling 127,000 square feet that is the U.S. home to Germany's Vetter. In addition to a number of younger growth companies developing technologies originally created at nearby Northwestern University. Illinois Science and Technology Park. The business of science grows here.
We each have our own story. It's what makes us human. The plot's been set, but has it been set in stone? What if you could change the ending? Make it better. At North Shore, we're transforming everyday medicine into something extraordinary, using your DNA to predict, prevent, and treat illnesses, so your story has a happy ending. North Shore, personalized medicine, healthcare for what's next.
It's a very special day. It's really the first day that a plane has flown with 5 tons of recyclable fuel on board. So it'll make an enormous difference to the amount of carbon that goes up into the Earth's atmosphere.
We identified Lonza-Tech as a really cool, innovative company to do business with. And I've described it to many others as actually the coolest form of recycling that I could come up with. Taking carbon waste gases from manufacturing plants and using them to power an airplane. I just think it's fantastic.
Essentially what we've done is we've captured waste emissions from a steel mill, recycled those, converted them into ethanol specifically, and then take that ethanol and convert it onto jet fuel. It's science fiction, but today.
I really want to see is all airlines pursue solutions that help us all get to a better kind of ultimate world answer of finding innovative ways of doing just that.
If we can move towards an environment that is completely clean and where airlines are playing their part, that will be just a lovely world to live in.
Skokie welcomes everyone, and it's really great that Mr. Gluck and American Landmark made this, Illinois Science and Technology Park available to us to have this announcement. This Science and Technology Park is a hub for innovators that encourages the expansion and growth of trailblazing industries and houses some of the largest lab space in the state of Illinois. This place that we are at today represents the future of economic growth for both the state of Illinois and downtown Skokie. And I'm so excited that the governor is here today in Skokie to partner with us.
Bringing a new therapy to market is costly, requiring an average investment of $2.6 billion and a decade or more in development. Rarely is the path to the patient a straight line. Challenges arise with circumstances that are often out of our control. Outsourcing is almost always a necessity. In fact, the majority of biotechnology companies turn to small, niche CROs, attracted by a low price tag. But failure to consider a provider's scientific depth and experience can prove to be an expensive mistake. Consider, for example, the impact of inadequate scientific input, critical deviations due to inexperience, failure to satisfy regulatory requirements, and inaccurate reporting. Add in the complexity of coordinating multiple vendors, and suddenly, you're not meeting your milestones. Having to repeat a study can cost as much as $100,000 to $200,000 and push your timelines out 3 to 6 months. Each day your drug is delayed in getting to market can result in an estimated loss of $1 million in revenue. Your choice of partner is one of the most critical decisions you can make, and one that shouldn't be driven by price alone. Consider the ultimate cost savings in working with an experienced, full-service CRO that can design and execute an integrated program, one that offers a deep network of scientific expertise and more capabilities than all your niche vendors combined. Consider the advantages of having one provider to oversee all of your studies and keep your development on track. Meet your milestones, stay in budget, and deliver your drugs to the patients who need them. Partner with Charles River.
Between two great oceans on the shores of a great lake, Northwestern University lives in the heart of the United States. Our campus is in Evanston, Illinois, and the global city of Chicago. We're in Washington, D.C., New York City, and San Francisco, stretching Northwestern from coast to coast. And half a world away, our furthest campus is in Doha, Qatar. Some people think Northwestern is an unusual name for a university based in the middle of the United States, but we don't think of it as a compass point. We think of it as a starting point that can take you in whatever direction you choose. A Northwestern direction could be an exploration into the smallest building blocks of life, or an adventure out to the furthest reaches of the universe. The Northwestern direction is a multi-dimensional journey filled with unexpected intersections and surprising twists and turns. No two Northwestern directions are the same, although their paths may sometimes cross. Like when economic research informs educational policy for kids, and when revolutionary new material helps leading physicians better care for premature babies. And when the study of signals in the brain meets the study of ancient texts to help us understand the human mind. Northwestern unites people in a common mission: increasing human knowledge, evolving human understanding, and improving human lives. Here, we're studying and shaping economic policy. We're bringing surgical care and trauma prevention to India and Nepal. And we're working in the arts and humanities because creativity inspires the imagination and enriches our lives. Across latitude and longitude, Northwestern sends our best students, faculty, and researchers out into the world. From artistic collaborations in formerly isolated nations to teaching the power of journalism in a post-apartheid society to advancing the rule of law and the cause of human rights in communities with minimal resources. We also welcome in the brightest minds from every corner of the planet to our community of scholarship and learning. As a professor, I experience firsthand the potential of our students brought together from far and wide. As a researcher, I see powerful opportunities for investigation and discovery. And as president, my mission is to enable the entire Northwestern family to continue making the world a better place. Each of us in a unique way, each of us taking a distinct Northwestern direction.
All of this up here is capped honey. And so underneath is that nectar, that shiny, thing that they're collecting from different flowers and things around us. And then once it gets to a specific water content, they're actually going to cap it over, and that is the honey that we know and love.
Okay.
Good.
My absolute favorite thing of any hive are the pollen cells that they'll actually deposit different pollens into the comb, and the colors will vary. So throughout the season you'll see different colors, but also even like right here you can see the deep oranges and the bright yellows. When you see a full frame of all these different pollens, it's one of the most spectacular things in the world. Almost better than a full frame of honey, if that's possible. And so we just look on both ends to make sure that the queen isn't here. It looks like on this side over here, you'll see some future bees. And so inside of this, we call it capped brood, there's actually larvae that's forming into bees. During the Discover the World of Bees workshop, it's one of my favorite things. We go through every stage of the bee's life cycle, including the pre-bee. And so if you can notice also, right in these little pockets, you'll see some white. And that's actually larva before it gets capped over.
Neat. And how long before they hatch?
It takes 21 days.
21 days.
So it starts as an egg. You can see some eggs. I'm sorry if you don't have the right light.
Yeah. Oh,
that really small grain. And then eventually goes through all of the phases until it's a capped cell. And then one day they'll emerge. We'll see if we can find any that are about to pop out. That's one of the greatest things to see.
Yeah.
Many of today's life-saving therapies are based on biologics or protein therapies, including gene therapy. However, these therapies lead to an immune response that, over time, limits their efficacy. The immune system begins to see these biologics as foreign and produces neutralizing antibodies against them, removing them from the body, reducing their therapeutic effect. Clinicians currently rely on immune suppressants to offset this effect, but existing immune suppressant therapies come at the cost of severe, often life-threatening side effects. COR's breakthrough nanoparticle platform solves the problem of neutralizing antibodies by harnessing the immune system's own learning power to induce the immune system to build tolerance to biologic and gene therapy treatments. Upon infusion, COR nanoparticles carrying the antigens associated with biologics and gene therapies bind to immune cells called monocytes. The particle surface is functionalized to enhance uptake, ensuring optimal targeted delivery. These cells then travel to the spleen and liver, where they undergo apoptosis. There, the antigens encapsulated within the particles are released. The resulting debris is consumed by antigen-presenting cells, which present the disease-specific antigens along with negative co-stimulating factors to the adaptive immune system. The adaptive immune system then recognizes the biologics and gene therapies as self and shuts down the neutralizing antibody pathways. Once tolerance to biologics and gene therapies has been restored, they can be administered to patients safely and repeatedly without inducing neutralizing antibodies that interfere with their efficacy. By harnessing the immune system's built-in learning and regulatory pathways, COR nanoparticle technology can reprogram the immune system, providing clinicians with a safe, effective, and non-immune suppressive approach to overcome challenges posed by neutralizing antibodies to biologics and gene therapies.